Hare Krishna. Mind is place of thinking. We can think about Krishna. We can motivate ourselves to serve Krishna. The mind and intelligence work together. We can use mind to create beautiful artworks of Krishna. We can use mind to write about Krishna and spread his glories. We can use our mind to hear the holy name of Krishna while chanting. These are some of the ways mind can be engaged in Krishna consciousness. The best way to use our mind in the service of Krishna is to follow Krishna's advice in Bhagavad Gita verse 7.1 and make it attached to Krishna. Here is Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita verse 7.1 about engaging our mind in the service of Krishna. But how do we make our mind attached to Krishna? Krishna has already given the formula for making our minds attached to him in the same verse. Acharyas explained that if we reverse the order of words in this verse, we will get the formula for attaching our mind to Krishna. It is actually a 6-step process. 1. Hear about Krishna. 2. By hearing, we will know all about Krishna. 3. When we know all about Krishna, all doubts about Krishna will go away. 4. When all doubts are gone, then we will aspire to take shelter of Krishna. 5. When we aspire to take shelter of Krishna, we will be inspired to perform Bhakti Yoga. 5. The final result will be that our mind will be attached to Krishna. In this 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described herein. Also, 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna and 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the rest 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of the 6th chapter, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahma Jyotir or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth, because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahma, Jyotir and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with paraphernalia. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna the Supreme is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Sravanam is the rest and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Tak Charnu, or hear from me. No one can be a greater authority than Krishna, and therefore by hearing from him one receives the greatest opportunity to become a perfectly Krishna conscious person. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna, and not from a non-devotee upstart puffed up with academic education. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto as follows.